What's up, y'all? Lost in Seattle, and we want to talk about this story. We're not even going to talk about the Gabby Petito story. No, we're not going to talk about that. That's not really the point of this channel. But I am noticing a lot of people are using that story to make comparisons to the coverage of our people, and I don't understand why people are making those comparisons. The question is, should white institutions or non-black institutions and news networks and stuff have the same level of coverage for our people as they do theirs? The answer is no. Because if we had our own institution that was the big dog, we wouldn't cover them as much.
But we don't.
What do you mean?
We don't have any bit networks, do we?
What's the Oprah network? OWN?
Does she have any?
TV1?
They don't have
Revolt?
news outlets. Revolt does. They don't
Black
have
News Channel?
TV1 had Roland Martin, but they
My point
got
is
his ass out of
they
here.
can have news channels that cover.
They can if they want to, but they don't.
That's not the point. I'm saying they can have it.
They should
so
have
why are
it.
they complaining about them not wanting to cover them when they could do it themselves? But we're gonna get into that. First, we're gonna show how people are bringing this up. The coverage of missing black people, or in their case, people of color, but they never wanted to distinctly be black people.
But they'll distinctly talk about black people.
Definitely
But
will.
they'll lump us under the category people of color.
So they'll say people of color, but the whole topic will be black Americans.
Showing
or
black
African-Americans.
percentages.
Yeah, but I'm gonna show you this video here of them breaking down the numbers of the missing and how it's not really reported.
And while the case is dominating headlines, it's also highlighting a glaring disparity.
And nearly half of the active missing persons cases on the FBI's radar right now are people of color, but some say you wouldn't know it based on media coverage. Local 10Z and Margot is live now in Miami with more on this racial divide tonight.
Yeah, this concept that people of color often get a lot less coverage if they go missing than a white person would. It is sometimes called the missing white woman syndrome, and activists say it is time for a lot more parity.
2 people went on a trip, 1 person returned.
After the disappearance of Gabby Petito and the subsequent manhunts to find her and her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, questions are being raised about why, oftentimes, missing people of color don't get nearly as much time in the headlines. Former president of the Miami-Dade NAACP, Ruban Roberts, says there is a shocking lack of parity.
Your network has also covered dogs being missing or that sort of thing for an extended period of time, where we've had people in our community who've been lost and they get very little coverage.
In 2020, more than 540,000 people were reported missing in the U.S. About 60% were white and about 40% were people of color, which is concerning because African Americans only make up about 13% of the population.
It's not a black and white thing. It's a white and everybody else thing.
Private investigator Joe Carrillo has spent years searching for missing young people across the country, and he points out that Petito's status as a social media influencer certainly boosted her visibility.
Well, I think in the Gabby Petito case, she was already viral before she came missing.
And he's right, which is why activists say the problem is not how much attention Petito's case is getting, it's how little attention
Now you notice they mixed in white with Hispanic. And then they said everything else is people of color. But then when they went to the next slide, so 40% of the missing people, they brought up African Americans made up 13% of the population.
They didn't go into the numbers for the. I don't know.
But the thing I want to talk about is they mentioned that the reason why she may be getting the level of attention she is getting, or got, should I say, where she was found, is because she was already a social media influencer. And I agree.
I agree with that.
I don't think my problem, I don't care how much they cover the people. The media, who cares? I'm worried about why do police or law enforcement use less resources and more resources for certain people. We saw those officers doing a manhunt doing a search party for her for how long? They were going all over the place, using all different type of vehicles, helicopters, but yet they don't use the same level of resources for everyone. That is the discrepancy. I could care less about the media coverage. If the law enforcement officers are doing their job if the FBI is getting, if there's I'm pretty sure there's a division in the FBI and CIA, or at least the FBI, to search for people, missing people, then the same level of resources should be put towards people that are hot and cold. Like if you've been searching for someone for more than, a couple months, and it's a cold, trail, you just have no evidence of where they are, then that's one thing. But if somebody's been missing for a week or two, and you're not even really dealing with them that much, but she gets missing and you're giving all your resources to that because of media attention, that's the problem. The fact that the resources are given based upon the amount of media coverage it gets. That's where it gets lopsided to me. If you give the same amount of resources to everyone that goes missing, or at least try to, then it won't matter who the media is covering because you're going to try to find anybody regardless.
I agree. But you do need the media to cover stuff because that brings attention.
Well, I know that. I'm saying if the law enforcement officers in these agencies took the same amount of urgency to find a person, it wouldn't really matter who the media is talking about. But somehow that skews the level of attention. The amount of time the media talk about you determines how much more the officers look for you. They don't seem weird to you? Shouldn't you look for me regardless if people talking about me or not? If you get a missing persons report and you just do a follow-up investigation, shouldn't you look for me even if the media's not talking about me?
Yes.
So why are we blaming the media?
They're blaming the media because the media is designed to get the word out. It's like if somebody's missing, you normally put it on TV so it brings awareness to everybody. So that if they see this person,
okay. So you
see where I'm going?
Like when officers get tips.
Yes.
Okay, so you're using. Okay, I get that. If you have more attention on somebody, you'll get more tips.
You're going to get more tips. You're going to get more attention. It draws.
No. It's not about the attention. The tips they're going to get are people that saw them.
Yeah.
It's just going to spread the word. Okay, I get that part. That doesn't mean the officers still shouldn't spend as much time looking for them.
No.
But let's see what Joy Ann Reed had to say about this.
Her name is Ann?
Yeah. It's Joy Ann. Well, that's her name she changed herself to, at least here in America. I don't know. But let's see what she has.
I thought it was just Joy Reid.
Oh, and Joy Reid then. I thought it was Joy Ann Reid.
But the way this story has captivated the nation has many wondering, why not the same media attention when people of color go missing? Well, the answer actually has a name: missing white woman syndrome, the term coined by the late and great Gwen Ifill to describe the media and public fascination with missing white women like Laci Peterson or Natalie Holloway, while ignoring cases involving missing people of color. Joining me now is Derica Wilson, co-founder and CEO of the Black and Missing Foundation, and Lynette Gray Bull, founder of Not Our Native Daughters, an organization created for the awareness of the missing, exploited, and murdered Indigenous women and children. Thank you both for being here. You know, I bring up this point because there's a case that's so similar. A journalist friend of mine, Derica, sent me this story about a young, about some other people that are missing. There's one guy whose name is Daniel Robinson. Daniel Robinson is a young black man. He's only 24 years old, 5'8", 165, black hair, brown eyes. That's his description. His dad has hired a private investigator to find him. He's missing part of an arm. He was last seen driving away from his job site in the Buckeye, Arizona desert on June 23rd. And his case struck me because it's very similar. He's missing in the same part of the world. It's a case that it has all of that same kind of sizzle, this sort of mystery of it. This young man who just goes missing. I never heard of it until this friend of mine sent it to me. And I guess that's the issue, isn't it?
Well, you're a news host. Ain't you supposed to have someone's job is supposed to find stories like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You work for MSNBC. Do you know how crazy you sound? You work for MSNBC. They have billions to fund these reasons. Listen, I'm not saying that we shouldn't get the amount of coverage on other networks or on these news networks. But damn, you're a so-called black woman on MSNBC. You don't have someone to look these stories up, to look up stories that affect black people?
She should have somebody on her team that
I'm pretty sure she has a staff, secretaries and such. Their job is to find stories like that, missing black people, missing young black people, women, children.
I think the producers on the show does.
No. If I'm not mistaken, each show has a different whatchamacallit.
Yeah,
so they can decide what they talk about and what they don't want to talk about.
Yeah,
that's why they're a host. They know how to find a good story and get views. So why aren't you telling your staff to look for these stories?
Because they don't see it as a.
It's not a story. It doesn't get the sizzle. Like she said, it doesn't give her the sizzle. You choose not to talk about it just as much as those white people do.
It's not gonna get that much attention, unfortunately.
Speaking of missing white woman syndrome, listen, it's one of those things where we know that I know that name Nally Holloway because of Patrice O'Neal's joke he had on it. He brought up how this country reacts when a missing young white woman goes missing versus when a black person goes missing. He had a joke.
You know how you can tell how pretty a white woman is? The value. You look at her and then you wonder how long they would look for if she was missing. Come on, take a look. Take a look. Look at this nigga. Look. I saw you look mad, sweetie. How long if you was missing? How long you think they were? Exact. She went. You know the deal. I ain't saying nothing wrong. White woman's life is valuable. What's his name? Joran Vandersloot? Right? We find out he was a serial killer. Man, he kills women. That's what he do. He do it well. You know what I mean? We know the girl that he supposedly had, what's the girl in Aruba? Natalie Holloway, right? But the one, he just killed a girl in Peru. What's her name? Exactly.
Where he was talking about if his daughter went missing, he know they wouldn't spend as much money to find her.
You got to hire your own
private investigator, like the black father did. But I want to ask this question. Is it a bad thing? Is it a bad thing that white society have a thing called missing white woman syndrome? When one of their women are missing, find them. Shouldn't we have missing black woman syndrome?
Well, we can't. Well, no, that's unfair because not all the police officers are white. There are black police officers, and our taxpayer dollars pay for them to go out and do that type of stuff to find people.
I agree. I'm making a point about, once again, the black news outlets. Shouldn't when a black woman goes missing, there should be just a barrage of, you need to know this. This woman is missing. This is how she looked. Tell us what you know. Even if it's getting low viewership, you should have it on every radio stations. We got all these hip hop radio stations. We got people do YouTube channels.
I was about to say, wasn't Black Twitter doing stuff like that, helping black people be found?
When people on Black Twitter would say, "Hey, this person is missing," yeah, they'll retweet it and stuff, and it would help find them sometimes.
Yeah,
but we also have actual black media outlets that could do this. How about Shade Room? The Root. I mean, come on. Like, we got media outlets that could do this stuff. But they focus on gossip.
Yeah, they gossip. That ain't they lane.
So we can't get angry that there's a such thing as missing white woman syndrome. We should have missing black woman syndrome. When one of our women are missing, it should just be an uproar. Like, all right, where is she?
It should be black people missing syndrome.
I understand that. I'm just doing a comparison to what they're talking about this. Because let's be honest, the only people that go missing that people really worry about truly is women and children. If you're a man and you're missing, it's like, if you go missing and you get found, okay, good, but that's just, being a man, you gotta hold that. You just know that's what it is. But yeah, like, you look at this article here. This is blacknews.com. This was written in 2019. This is good work. There are 64,000 missing black women and girls in the United States, and no one seems to care. Why ain't more articles written about this? This was in 2019. Did they go through and tell you the numbers of missing black women and where they're missing? So why are we getting angry that other people are doing it? Do it for your own people. You should have, there should be at least an article a day about somebody missing. If you're a black news outlet with any sort of following, there should be.
I will. Black News Channel did do something on that.
Well, yeah, they do it. Yeah, they do it. They were doing it for young black girls.
Yeah, they did that.
That's what you're supposed to do.
See, I give props when props are.
I don't expect to see a young white woman on Black News Channel missing. I don't expect to see that.
We don't.
No offense, but that ain't their business. They focus on the black women. So why are you surprised when these outlets focus on white women?
Well, they focus on people of color, but they'll put black women up there.
Yeah, they only show black women, but they'll say people of color. Yeah. I don't understand that. But yeah.
I feel like I'm living in the fucking Twilight Zone.
This is another article. This is CNN. So this is one of the networks that would have covered that girl's thing.
Gabby.
You see here it said these families missing black people are frustrated with the lack of response to their cases. And that's what I'm talking about. Forget the media coverage. I want to talk about the officers and the agencies and their lack of urgency to find them.
Yeah, because the FBI came out and looked for her.
Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they spent taxpayer dollars to find her.
Even though I believe there's something else to that, Gabby.
Well, yeah, we know.
We're not going to talk about it, though.
Yeah, that's something deeper. This is the guy that just showed on the other video here. Joey Reed was talking about Daniel Robinson. They show here the amount of missing. And look at this. Look at this show right here, bro. Share a 2020 active missing persons case. Share of the U.S. population. So 76% of the country is allegedly white people.
That was back then. It's 60,
in 2020.
59% now.
You saying what?
The percentage of white people now in this country?
It is 2020. Missing persons cases.
Oh, missing person cases. Oh, sorry.
So 54% were white.
Mm-hmm.
31%. Now look,
Jesus.
Black people are 13% of the population, but 31% of the missing persons cases were them. That's like crazy.
Organ harvesting.
Well, yeah, we know that's probably a case of it. Once again, we can go deeper into
Native
this.
American, y'all even Steven.
Yeah, somebody go missing. That's alive.
That's like half of the population.
This is the father here, the one who decided to pay for a private investigator to find him. This is the guy here, Jelani Day, 25-year-old. His mother finally gets some attention for him, but he was recently found. But his case is weird. There's something weird going on with his case. This is another one. A mother pleads to find daughter missing nearly 5 years. Tony Jacobs said her daughter, Keisha Jacobs, has been missing since September 26, 2016, when she left the family's apartment in Richmond, Virginia. Jacobs said Keisha. Is that how you say it? Is it Keisha or Keisha?
I don't know what to tell you, bruh.
Now 26 says she was going to spend the night with a friend, but never returned home the next day. So they saying that these cases are just not taken seriously. I agree.
What do you think? The girl just ran off and became what they call them prostitutes that be at bus stops?
Jesus, Travis, you assuming the girl did that?
That's not what I'm saying. Don't take what I'm saying out of context. I said, is that what they're assuming, or they're saying she just ran off to do that?
That's
not what I'm saying. Calm down.
I didn't read that. That's what they just saying. Travis looking at me with the dead eye now. I'm trying to whoop my ass. But yeah, on a serious note, they actually found that guy, Jelani Day, as you can see here. Body found identified as missing Illinois State University student Jelani Day. Authorities said Thursday that the body found in the Illinois River earlier this month matches the description of missing Illinois State University graduate student Jelani Day. Coroner's officer said the cause of death at this time is unknown and investigation is ongoing. So they still haven't found out how he died.
Did they open up that body and see if there was some organs in that body?
So the body was located on September 4th. Jelani Day was reported missing on August 25th. So how long did it take for them to tell the mother? Reported missing on August 25th and was last seen in public the previous day after missing several days of classes. Authorities found his vehicle on August 26th during their search. It contained the same clothes he was wearing when he was last seen in public. WREX reported. There are no words to come. That's the report on it. His mother actually did an interview where she discussed, I think this is prior to her finding out that they found him. I'm going to show that video now.
I was very frustrated with the fact that, I thank you for this opportunity, because I was very frustrated with the fact that Jelani hadn't been getting the coverage. Jelani's been missing for 24 days. And like I said, it seems like the effort to find him has slacked down. And I know about Gabby, the missing girl, and she's been missing for 2 days, and her face is plastered everywhere, and the FBI is involved. And I do not understand why Jelani doesn't get that same coverage. Jelani doesn't get that same attention, because just like Gabby is important, and I can sit in this seat and say I know what her mother is feeling like because she wants her child back. I want my child back too. And I want them to look for my child like they're looking for her. He is not a nobody. He is somebody, and I want him to come back home. I want them to give my son the same attention. And it makes me mad because this young white girl is getting that attention, and my young black son is not.
As I've said before, it should be on us to create a buzz for the missing of our people. Mm-hmm. We have outlets on our own. We have all this other stuff. Why don't we do it ourselves? Why do we expect the quote unquote dominant society to care as much about your people as you do?
Some people don't view themselves as black. They view themselves as Americans.
Well, that's them. And you always going to feel the same way, that you treated unfairly. There's no such thing as a fair. How they say it, a fair is a place they judge pigs. That's what a fair is. As we know, they did end up finding him. Once again, the coroner has not came to a conclusion of how he died. But he went missing on the 25th. They found him early September. And she didn't find out till almost late September.
About them finding him?
Yeah, she didn't know at this point. He had been missing for 24 days. They had already found him.
I told you, check that body. Make sure those organs are in the body.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's why he really was missing. If he unfortunately,
and he was going to school to be a doctor.
I think so. Mm. He was a part of a fraternity as well, so you know. But hopefully his mother can get some relief now. Some tragic situation that happened. They found him, but he was dead. Hopefully she gets some healing. But my point of all this is, why do we expect them to cover us? We should cover ourselves. That's my whole point. But anyway, y'all be safe. Y'all be safe out there. We got to depend on ourselves at some point. But all praise to the Most High, and peace, man.